to another Triple T Thursday. For those just joining us, that's tools, tips, and talk, where we'll discuss info for the knife maker. In today's episode, I'm excited to show you guys a brand new tool. This isn't a hand tool, this is a forging tool, and kind of a luxury for most shops. But I really wanted one, and I got one. So let's go take a look. There it is, folks, my new rolling mill. So basically what this is just a motor that drives this gearbox, which drives a roller, and then there's a free roller on the bottom. This one will just spin. And there's a screw here which will raise and lower this head, and then a foot pedal. This will just engage it. You put your steel in, press the pedal, it'll engage this to this, and then it'll just roll your steel out, which is very cool. The best part about this is you will get a constant thickness throughout the billet. So this is excellent at dialing in the thickness that you want and just rolling it out. This will be particularly useful for Damascus billets, where I want to get a nice thickness, especially for layered constructions. You guys know I do the copper Damascus quite a bit, so to get a constant thickness, and it's pressing, rolling from both sides, so you know you're going to get your core centered. So very cool. Turning it on. Well, got to plug it in. So it's a 110 motor, so it plugs into anything. You can hear it's very quiet, which is another nice thing. I have the forge on and this on, and be able to draw out billets. Now, this is for final flattening. You can, the guy I got it off of said you can do, once you get good at it, you can do billets that are maybe a half to 3/4 thick, and then start to draw them down. So I'm still using the press. This does not replace a press. You can't set Damascus welds in this, set forge welds. This is for drawing out stock. So, just like this, engage. So I'm happy with how quiet it is. Let's fire up the forge. We'll get a few pieces in it and give it a try.
For the first couple times, I had this set a little too narrow, so I didn't push the pedal all the way to the ground. That's why it sounds pretty quiet. Now you can hear that bang before it starts. That's the pedal hitting the floor. I've also got the audio set at about 10%, so it was quite a bit louder with that pedal hitting the floor. Unlike the press, the great thing about the rolling mill is there's very little steel in contact with the billet, so it doesn't lose a lot of heat when it goes through the mill. Here I had the roller width maxed out, not quite wide enough. Here's where I pinched the steel and got it locked up. I'll talk about this in a little bit.
Okay. Okay, folks, let's talk about this rolling mill. First off, I love this machine. It is awesome. Let me just show you the results here. They're still hot, but I stretched this guy out to about 3/16, and it was a block like this big, and it took me about maybe 15 minutes, and that was just waiting for it to heat in the forge. You can take, I'd say, between about a 30-second bite, maybe between a 32nd and 16th, or somewhere around there. Again, I'm still new at this, so I'll get better at how to do it. I did lock it up a couple of times, and as soon as I did that, I just flipped it off. I had this hammer up here, and I just loosened the screw here just to take some pressure off, turn it back on, and it came out. So one of the things, just method-wise, that I noticed is when there's a piece of rebar, so this was originally much thicker than the rebar, and the problem is you can't clamp down here because it'll just stop. You can't set it to the width and then clamp down here because it just won't move. So this was a problem. So I'll probably from now on do it on the press so it's at least the width of the rebar before I come up here so that I can press here and have it roll the whole thing out. Because what I was finding, and the reason that it locked up, is I kept having to press right here. Then I was kind of building up a thing here, and you'll notice one time I had to flip it and hold it by this end and pull it out just to flatten that area. So, learning process, yeah, I'll get better. Here's the other one, also still hot. So this one I took a little, it's probably 3/16, that one's probably a quarter. This is a piece from the dagger build. This is the offcut. I'll be making probably a hunting knife from this. So really cool, and it's super flat. I did take it to the press after just to, take any kind of bow or anything out of it, but I'm amazed. So just some other subtle things about the rolling mill. So what I did was attach a little string here. I took a piece of 1/8" stock cold and just checked, the depth of that, and then I set this so that it was 1/8, and then I measured with another 1/8" piece of stock, so it was a quarter, how many turns that was. So an 1/8 is 5 of these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an 1/8. So with the string here, and I'm going to have to put a little weight so that it doesn't get caught up here, I will know how many turns, like I'll know where I am just from how many winds the string is, so and I'll know when it gets back to center, I'll know that this is an 1/8. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to do it. Some other things I'm going to put, it may not be in frame here, but I'm going to put little adjustable feet because my garage isn't exactly level, so I had to shim this. So I'm going to put little bolts here that I can raise up and down just to level this perfectly. I don't feel like I need to bolt it down to the floor. It does not move. The thing weighs a couple 100 pounds, so it's not going anywhere. The one thing that I didn't like is this foot pedal when it engages, because it kind of clamps down and then snaps, makes a lot of noise when it hits the floor. So I'm going to put a little piece of foam under here so it doesn't make quite as much noise. Other than that, I love this thing, and just a little note about the rolling mill and why this is such a good design. A lot of rolling mills you'll see, especially the big industrial ones, you'll put something in here and it'll get spit out the back. The problem with that is this thing doesn't know the difference between steel, tongs, fingers. That's really dangerous. So the great design about this one is that you put your work in, hit the pedal, and it spits it out. Always spits it out. There's no way to get your fingers caught in this unless you've reached in the back or something ridiculous. But I love that design of it. The safety feature is really, really good. So looking forward to using this on some actual projects. Well, actually these are actual projects that you're going to see soon. But overall, love this thing. It was $1,800 plus shipping. Shipping was not cheap. It cost me $500 to ship this here. So that wasn't fun. This is made by David Barfield. And he's just doesn't have a huge business. He cranks 4 or 5 of these out a month. I will put a link down to a Facebook page where he wants to use for references or for referrals. So go look down there. If you want to buy one of these, check it out. I highly recommend it. I'm super happy with this thing. I paid full price for this. I didn't get any kickbacks or anything like that, so not a paid promotion by any means. So if you're considering something like this, go talk to David. He'll hook you up. Thanks, folks. We'll see you on the next one.